What is something that you could practice for 1 hour max every day, for an entire year, and by the end of the year you'd be an expert in? Writing with your non-dominant hand. A lot of people in here seriously underestimating what an expert is. Yeah, I'm just a loser who plays games, but in most online games 365 hours is rookie numbers. 365 hours in Rocket League is like gold or plat for most people. Not trying to gatekeep BTW, I only have more than that in like 2 games. 3K hours in CSGO, my peak was MG2. Pickpocketing or lockpicking. A new career option. You've just unlocked a new branch in the skill tree. Now you can use your lockpicking skills to quickly unlock the other branches. Never should have come here. Not an honest day of work for all that coin you're carrying, eh lad? Kaiji, it has wares if you have coin. Procrastination. All these upvotes. I'm guessing they will all respond later. I'm going to upvote that comment later. You wouldn't be an expert, but you'd be significantly better at drawing. Came here to say this. I teach drawing and most of my students improve vastly over the course of a year, just from spending a few hours per week in class. Those who consistently practice outside of class, even just doodling every day, improve even more. I don't think it's something that anyone ever really masters. I've been drawing seriously for about 25 years and I'm still improving. Edited to add, wow, so my inbox blew up. For the many who have asked, here are some links to a website full of drawing tutorials, which I often recommend. thevirtualinstructor.com, thevirtualinstructor.com, thevirtualinstructor.com. Their gesture drawing tutorial for the human figure is also spot on. thevirtualinstructor.com. The same website has a ton of other drawing tutorials that are broken down into step-by-step instructions for beginning artists. I'm like the absolute worst at drawing. Is there any tips you could give for someone like me that wants to learn? Slow down. Take on small drawing projects instead of huge ideas at first. Draw a teacup. Draw it over and over and over and over and over. Look at it until you get bored with it. Then look at it some more. If you draw an object and you think you've nailed it, draw it 20 more times, at least. Never stop. Practice your perspective basics constantly. There are some great online tutorials. Loosen up your hand. Don't grip your pencil like you're writing. Back up from what you're doing often. You should look at the object you're drawing far more than at your paper. Love you. Juggling. Yeah. It took me a weekend to be able to juggle 3 balls above 20 throws. I was juggling balls well the first try. Some things just come naturally to people in truck stop bathrooms. We sports golf. You would be a god. Bold of you to assume I don't already have 365 plus hours in Wii golf. Training your dog. Maybe no expert, but you'd certainly have a good boy. Does this work with bears? Asking for a friend. Does it? Asking for myself. Exercise edit. Thanks for the silvers. So many people try it for 2 days and are like, I'm not getting skinny, so it's not working. Manipulating your eyebrows. My daughter can do this. It's weird but funny. Adding this to my New Year's revolution. I know it's a typo, but I kinda like it. Overthrow last year's boringness and replace it with something new and better. Like expressive eyebrows. Probably like playing 4 chords on a guitar. You'd probably be an expert at that in 365 hours of practice. But how long before I can play Wonderwall? Today is gonna be the day that all my friends say duck you, dude. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about me now. Being able to judge when exactly 1 hour has passed. Being a superhero, all you need to do is 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10 kilometers running. And that's just if you want to be a hero for a hobby. Backflip. I would die on practice day 1. A spotter is important. What does a spotter actually do? Are they supposed to catch you mid-air before you fall on your head? Edit, thank you all for your attempts. I still haven't seen an answer that fully convinced me. I did some research myself and some of you are on the right track. Basically, a spotter paints a spot on your face every time you attempt a backflip. Red for fail, green for pass. If you're small and your spotter is strong, they can grab you by the back and knees to literally flip you over in the air. More commonly, however, a spotter just gives you a boost upwards right when your back is parallel to the floor. This gives you more height and time to complete the flip before the landing. U2.B source, former gymnast. And sometimes they lie, and as you are committing to your back handspring, they step back and hold their hands out to the side. As you recover from a moment of confusion, they say, "See, I told you. You don't need my help anymore. I wasn't actually helping you lately anyways, just touching your back while you did it." Source, the time I almost died at age 9 because my gymnastics instructor tried, successfully, to make a point. Rubik's Cube. From someone who has a friend who does that about an hour a day, he can now solve the 21-sided monstrosity he bought for like $50 at it. My friend said it was 30-sided. My bad. Anything over 5x5 uses the same solving patterns. Definitely takes longer to do a 21x21, but you don't need new skills at it. Misread 21x21, not 21 sides, but some good comments below. 21 sides, not 21 rows. He must have meant 21 rows. There's no 21-sided platonic solid. Maybe he meant to type 12. Yeah, I've never seen a 21-sided puzzle, but I've solved the 12-sided one. It's amazing what you can teach yourself on a 12-hour, 7 days a week shift for months on end when your actual job only takes about 2 to 3 hours to perform. The 12-sided is basically a glorified 3x3. Been a while since I was a cuber, but I do believe you guys are talking about the Megaminx. Soldering. If you had new components and new techniques to practice every day, and you actually soldered for an hour every day, you'd be a ducking wizard by the end of a year. You'd also be hugely in debt to just pay for all the tools and parts, but hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Edit, this was written in the context of the question, but you can learn the basics in an hour, you can get moderately proficient in a few sessions. You don't have to be a fucking wizard to get lots of useful shit done, as many below have shared. Soldering, Electronics, Rask Electronics are all great places to start. Basic soldering requires only a few tools that can be had for cheap, and basically everyone can do it. I've taught many people to solder in a few minutes and you can learn too. Edit 2, Unearned 1A4 I wrote a nice little primer below. Edit 3, I am seriously gonna edit this to give a huge shout out to the Hako FX888, because it's still my go-to for actually getting shit done. Such a wonderful little soldering station. Pricey if you're just getting started, but if you're in it for the long haul, totally worth the money. There is a few hands-on skills I'd love to learn, but the investment in equipment and space is just too high. Beat Saber. That's actually my goal. Month so far and going strong. I've had my quest for 2 months and just got an S on an Expert Plus track for the first time. I love this shit. Damn, S on Expert Plus, I haven't even beaten Expert Plus yet, congrats. Such a good game. I think this applies for small skills only. From my experience, an hour a day will make you an expert in spinning things on your finger. I can spin nearly any relatively flat thing bigger than a tablet as long as I can stand its weight: laptops, notebooks, suitcases, ceramic plates, cereal boxes, pillows. You get the idea. Suitcases? That's what they said. I'm as curious as you. I think op meant spinning things on top of your finger, like you do with a basketball. I was totally imagining the trick that drummers do where they twirl the sticks between their fingers, and thinking like, suitcase? Tetris. Oh yeah, true. If you want to get good at Tetris, an hour a day only takes a couple of months at most to get decent at the game. Mastering more advanced stuff like spins and whatnot would take 6 months plus, but I doubt a year. Can you explain what a T-spin actually is? They're featured in Tetris 99, but if what they are or how to do them. Due to a quirk of the rotation system modern Tetris games use, the super rotation system, you can rotate a piece into a position where it would normally be impossible to get it into. A T-spin is when a spin is performed on a T-piece.